Greetings, listeners and viewers. I'm Dr. Kristen Stahauer, Academic Vice President and Provost for Northwood University. Welcome to our Faculty Spotlight, a podcast aimed at giving listeners an insider's view into the brilliant minds and expertise of Northwood University's distinguished faculty members. Over the course of this series, we explore a wide range of topics from business and economics to entrepreneurship and innovation. Each episode features an in-depth conversation with professors who share insights, research, and experience to educate, inspire, and engage our listeners. Today's episode features a Midland favorite, Dave Marsh, Assistant Professor and Department Chair of Sport Management and Esports Management at Northwood University. Welcome, Dave.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, I've been looking forward to this. And when it comes to sports, we mean business at Northwood University, don't we?
Absolutely. I mean, we try to the goal is to prepare students that want to get into the sports industry to be ready to be productive right off the bat. You have a great chance of getting a job and really making a difference out there.
Well, it's a great way for students to combine their passion with their career.
For sure. You know, when we start off as freshmen in the intro to sport management class, you know, one of the first things that I ask is, so why are you a sport management major? I mean, why are you sitting here?
Have you had some surprising answers?
You know, the majority are not really sure, which is expected from a 18-year-old, but not really sure, but sports is my passion and hoping to make a career out of my passion. That's kind of the general response. A few have a little more direction on it. So, you know, then we try to use that right off the bat of just showing all the variety there might be in this sport management industry. You know, a lot might think, well, I'll go work for the Lions or something like that, but it's much broader reaching than that. And so we really try to expand their horizons and show them it's not just professional sports. It could be college, could be working for an agency, could be in the product retail side of things, could be in parks and recreation, esports, you know, golf course management, different things like that. And it kind of opens up their eyes to what the possibilities might be.
So we're fortunate to have you in the classroom, Dave. That's not how you started at Northwood University.
No.
Could you share a bit about how long you've been at Northwood University and your transition from basically being a sport management practitioner into the classroom?
Yeah, so I started at Northwood in 1998. So I just finished my 25th year here. And I worked in the athletic. Thank you. Well, I worked in the athletic department for the first 23 of those, and you know, started as sports information director and marketing, became the associate athletic director, and then was the athletic director for 8 years before just making a change, a bit of a career change, but still at Northwood. And opportunity arose that we talked about, and about trying to make a difference in a different way, where you have students come in and want to get into the sports field, which I have a lot of experience with, and maybe I can share some of that knowledge and experience and wisdom and help them prepare for that. So bit of a shift, but it's still at Northwood. You know, a reason I was just talking in class today about this is reason I've been at Northwood for 25 years is, you know, it's good to be at a place where you believe in the mission and believe with in the values and the core values. And when you do that, then it's easier to come to work because you believe in what you're doing and you're fulfilling a purpose.
A greater purpose, certainly.
Exactly. And so if you can find a place where you can do that, which fortunately I was able to at Northwood, then, you know, you stick it out and you get a lot more satisfaction that way.
Well, we're fortunate and our students are fortunate, and you exemplify how our faculty members are practitioners. They have lived it as a profession, and you also have quite a network of people with whom you are regularly interact in the sports industry.
Definitely, you know, and that's one thing that especially in the intro class, but in others, we try to bring the industry to the classroom too, and have.
What kind of guest speakers have you had?
Just yesterday in our events, Jeff Reckaway used to be our basketball coach, but he is now the director of the Greater Midland Tennis Center, and he runs the Dow Tennis Classic. And so he came to talk to our events class about how you put together and get sponsorships and plan and budget, the whole gamut on running a major professional sporting event. So there, I will have vice president of the NCAA will be a guest speaker. I had been involved in the NCAA, still have connections there, and so we're able to bring people, high-level people from the NCAA to talk to our students. You know, Brandon Gobles is a Northwood grad. He's a ticket, one of the best. He's ranked number 3 in the NBA in ticket sales for the Pistons, which isn't, they've struggled, so that's not the easiest task in the world, but he works with our sales and revenue class and will be a guest speaker, and it's inspirational for our students to connect with industry people like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. You've mentioned go make a difference and make a difference a couple of times, and I know that's more than just a catchphrase to you.
Yeah, obviously that's Coach Rietma, who I had the real pleasure of being a teammate. We were kind of a team running the athletic tournament for a long time. About as good a person as you can find. That he brought Go Mad to Northwood as when he was the football coach. That
make
was
a difference.
Go make a difference. Go Mad. And you know, we've carried that beyond the football field now at Northwood in his honor. So it's not just in the athletic department, it's a standard for the university. And when you talk about the values and what Northwood stands for, Go Mad's a big part of it. That's a big way I try to approach life, is try to make a positive difference for people. So it does make it, it does resonate for sure.
Yeah, and that's certainly an emotional topic because we lost Pat to cancer, and yet his legacy lives on, and he is influencing and inspiring future generations, all of us at Northwood University, and future generations of students. Yeah,
and we're, as you know, we're inducting our Hall of Fame class this weekend with the 1999-2000 football team, which Pat was the coach of. So that's going to be a really special night for the team members, but also to kind of pay tribute to him, I'm sure. Yeah.
Thank you for all of your leadership there as well. So we were talking about how we bring experience into the classroom, and esports management is part of your responsibility, your portfolio. And we have some amazing professors in that who teach for us and also have professions in esports.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I oversee that, you know, so it's on me to bring industry experts to it, since I wouldn't consider myself that. But fortunately, we have in-house our assistant esport program coach, Jacob, teaches some of the classes in esport coaching and events and so forth. But then we're also very fortunate to have Victoria Horsley. She's the director of global competition for Valorant, which is a major game worldwide. It's a Riot Games game, which is very prominent in the esport industry. And so she has obviously a lot of industry expertise and experience, and she is the professor for 3 of our esport classes. And so the students are very fortunate to and privileged to have learned from her, you know, one of the premier people in the industry. And
a rapidly changing and evolving industry too.
Absolutely. It's hard to keep up with, but that's why you need people on the cutting edge of the industry that understand what is changing and what students need to do to prepare to get into the field. So we're really fortunate to have excellent staff teaching our esport
Right.
classes. Yeah.
And that is really a beautiful pairing with our multiple national world championship esports teams.
Yeah. Anybody that follows college esports knows we are the premier esport team out there. For sure. There's really no debate about that.
Right.
And then with that is, and we compete in quite a few titles, so that a lot of times Cody needs help running this. So it provides internship opportunities and practical experience opportunities for our esports students. And some of the things that the students do are amazing, and they're afforded the opportunity about running collegiate events in Halo or whatever game it might be. Jacob runs in-person events every Friday in Smash Brothers, and brings people to campus, and it gives the students the opportunity to be there on the front lines running an actual in-person tournament as well as online tournaments. And so you have a great opportunity to get real hands-on experience while you're competing and while you're a student.
And a head start on a career if they want to combine that passion, esports, with a career.
Yeah, absolutely. And you find, in the more traditional sport management classes, the esports students take those, but there's quite a bit of overlap and commonality between traditional sports and esports. I mean, on how you run events and how you do sales and how you get sponsorships and the gamut of that. And so there's a lot of overlap, and I find it's in our class when we have esports students contributing in the class, it's really eye-opening for the students that are more interested in traditional sports. So it's kind of a nice blend of students there.
And so while students are at Northwood, they get a number of hands-on experiential learning opportunities. Mm-hmm. What kinds of internships have our sport management students or esport management students have?
Yeah, it's almost
have they had?
What haven't they had? There's a because of our connections in the industry, we've had students with internships with the Lions or Comerica Park or 313 Entertainment down in the Detroit area with the Great Lakes Loons and the Saginaw Spirit. We're really fortunate to have all these high-level organizations right in Midland. So the Great Lakes Loons and Spirit, the LPGA, the Dow LPGA tournament in the summer that sponsored by Dow. We've had interns that had jobs working for the agency that runs those events, and that turns into a full-time job for them. And with the Pistons out of state, it might be with another minor league baseball team or a soccer team or
internships. What kinds of things do they do? So if they get brought on, if they're brought on by an organization like that, what kinds of things do they get to do?
So it's quite a variety. Like some internships, there's some menial tasks, but then they're also out there doing the in-game promotions or being the ticket sellers. So they're actually selling the tickets, or at the tennis tournament doing the during match promotions, or maybe working with hospitality. It's just quite a variety. We just had a student that had an internship this summer with the Allied Golf Tournament. It's a senior tour tournament downstate. A Northwood grad, Aaron Stone, runs that. So she had him as an intern, and so he got to do kind of all aspects of running a professional golf tournament while he was there. So it's pretty neat. What we try to do is, when you ask, what are you really interested in? And if a student their goal is to run, say, a softball training facility, then what we try to do, there's a softball player who that's her goal. I set her up with a job in town at baseball heaven to do lessons, but then her internship this past summer is to work at a softball facility near her hometown and did a phenomenal job with that. So I just think the sky is the limit for a student like that.
Yeah, and that illustrates how students can customize their path too. So
Right.
if they have a certain dream within that huge realm of sport management or esports management, they're able to pick their path and then work with you when you know that and customize their game plan.
I think it's a big advantage of a smaller school that you can have, our classes are 20 to 25 students for the most part, and you can get to know them one-on-one. And I encourage them all to come to office hours just to tell me about themselves and what their dreams are. And, I see my purpose is to help people succeed and to help them achieve that. And so if I know the student is interested in that path about running a softball facility, then put her in contact with people in that side of the industry. And one of the tenets of the Northwood idea is personal responsibility. So you can put it out there, but then the student needs to take it and run with it. And the ones that do are going to be successful.
I'm so glad you mentioned the Northwood idea. That's something we ask most of our guests on. What does the Northwood idea mean to you, Dave?
Yeah, I talk about it quite a bit. That's a big part of it, the personal responsibility. But from our end, we can put the opportunity in front of students, but then the student, their success is up to them. You have to put the work in and the effort, and follow the advice and so forth, and to do that. And free market, we're free to carve out our own path. Yeah. So it's not
individual freedom, personal responsibility,
rubber stamped anything, or there's not a set path, especially in the athletic world, where you, like Coach Reckaway, for example, was a basketball coach. Now he runs the Greater Midland Tennis Center.
One of the best tennis centers in the United States.
For sure. But it's because you develop a skill set, and it applies across industry fields, whether it's college or professional or whatever it might be. But you make connections, you build relationships, and you can help yourself succeed that way. So we have the freedom to do it. And that's the encouragement at Northwood, is to take it upon yourself and be creative on how you might get your niche, and we can help you make it happen.
Yeah, there's the support and then the network to be able to make that happen. What's your favorite course in the curriculum? What do you like teaching the most? That's probably hard to pick.
It is, but I would say, to me, it's our events class that we're doing right now. Is in that class, we have broken into 3 teams, and we do all the aspects of actually planning. They actually plan and execute their own event. So one group is running a bowling event. One group is going to do a curling event, because we have a really nice curling center in Midland. And one is going to do a pickleball tournament. They're all off campus, so you have to work with the facilities and plan that out. You need to budget. You need to sell sponsorships. You need to do the registration, provide customer service, make sure you plan the event so that it goes well. Run the event and then evaluate it after, so that at the end of the class, we've learned about running events, but you can say and put on your resume, really, that we ran a pickleball event, we earned a profit, we sold out, and we did all these things.
Can learn from each other too. I'm sure as the teams come back and debrief, there's a lot that they share with each other.
Right. What they did right, what they did wrong, and that kind of thing. So I really enjoy that class.
Yeah. Have you personally tried pickleball yet?
I have, yes.
How do you like it?
It's a great game. I like it a lot. Yeah.
How about curling?
We have done curling. I did it. We did learn to curl a few years ago, and then it's really fun. So I actually signed up for the students event, because my wife and I enjoy doing that.
Oh, that's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should join us.
I should. I'd like to know the dates because I'd like
Yeah.
to go to all of them actually.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
bowling too.
So it's really neat, and when I bring it up in the beginning of the semester, they kind of look at you like, really? We're going to do all this? Well, who's going to sign up? I said, well, that's part of the marketing. And then my experience is at the end, it's gone pretty well, and it's very satisfying to pull off running a tournament or running an event like that. So I usually have pretty good feedback that way.
Yeah, and it's building gradually into a great accomplishment
Right.
over the course of the semester.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, what's another class you love to teach?
So I'm not doing it this year, but we do sales and revenue class, which I enjoy, and we work with the Detroit Pistons. I mentioned Brandon Goebel's Northwood grad. We work with them, and the students part of the classes, they are basically like student ticket sellers for the Pistons. So there's sales goals, and you teach how to sell tickets or how to do groups, and they have sales goal, and at the end, especially the ones that take it upon themselves and kind of go for it, it's very satisfying. And ticket sales and I always tell the students, sales are part of everything. To do, if you're a coach, you're selling your team on what you're trying to run, or you're selling recruits, so it doesn't matter what it is. If you can learn principles of sales and then actually do it, so you get some experience doing it, then you're going to be that better prepared for your career.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And something we hear regularly from our advisory council members, regardless of the major, is that sales, selling, professional sales management are essential for career success, at least understanding that. So that's great.
Well, and we get a lot. I kind of try to segment the program in kind of three goals. One is the academic side, where you're learning. You have a textbook and you're reading articles and keeping up, and that's one aspect. Other aspect is the experiential learning, kind of like running the event or selling the tickets. And the third is the networking, which is essential. When you go out for a job, it's going to be a highly competitive market. So how are you going to separate yourself? So the networking, when we bring guest speakers to class, I say before they come, this is a networking opportunity, bringing it to you. So you either utilize it or you don't, right? And then, or we'll go take a tour of the events class, took a tour of Dow Diamond. You get to know Chris Mudhank or some of the people from the Loons. And one example is in our sales class, we had a student we had a guest speaker from the Loons. After class, he introduced himself, stayed in touch with him throughout, and then he got a full-time job with the Loons because he took advantage of the networking.
Created a career, and he took personal responsibility.
And he took he did it. So, and he's loving it over there. And so those are kind of the three things we try to provide.
I love how you put it so clearly, and really helps our students be great competitors. And sports is about competition.
It is.
And making it accessible for them to find a way to not only learn about, but ultimately succeed in making their dream a reality in the sports industry. And unfortunately, our time is up. I think we can keep going. So and wonderful to hear how you bring learning alive for our students.
No, thanks.
So thanks for all you do.
Love being here. Thanks for letting me join you today.
Yeah, absolutely. We hope we can maybe have you back for another session sometime.
Anytime.
And thanks to our listeners and viewers for joining us. We really appreciate your support in listening more about Northwood University's faculty, their expertise, and their passion for our students, and helping you learn more about these industries as well. Please follow us on social media and subscribe to us where you get your podcasts. Once again, thanks for joining us at Northwood University.